So in this video, we're going to talk about the power of looking out for the other person's best interest. Now, let me ask you this. When you're in a situation where you're desperate to put a deal together, is it hard to sometimes put aside your selfish ambition and look out for the other person's best interest? I think if you're honest, the answer is yes, right? We've all been there where we're anxiously trying to put a deal together. Maybe our pipeline's low and we really need to get a deal put together. What do we do in those situations? Do we focus only on what's best for us, or are we focusing on what's best for the client? And let me ask you this too. When we're in those situations, can the client pick up on whose interest you're operating in? The answer is yes. The client knows. They feel your anxiety. They feel your desperation. They feel you pushing to try to make things happen. And they can also sometimes feel if it's not in their genuine best interest. So the challenge I want to put out for all of us is how can we set aside our own selfishness and look out for the client's best interest? And if we do that, will it help us or hurt us? And I'm going to challenge you to really test this out for yourself. I think intuitively we know we have to look out for the client's best interest, but when, the moment of truth comes and the deal's on the line and we need the commission, sometimes we just put blinders on, right? And we go into straight survival mode. And really what we're doing in that moment is we're thinking short term. So let me take a step back. Our philosophy at Founding Fathers is that we put our client's interest in front of our own best interest. And in doing so, by putting our client's best interest first, we're actually putting our own best interests first. Let me explain. When you're rushing to put a deal together blindly, you're thinking short term. You just want to put that deal together. And you might actually put that deal together. But by the time it's all said and done, that client may never want to work with you again. Because in that moment, maybe they didn't feel like you were genuinely looking out for their best interest. Not only will they not work with you again, they may not refer anybody to you either. At Founding Fathers, we are a referral-based business. We build relationships with people who want to work with us again and who also send us referrals. So instead of just trying to get a deal closed, your mission should be to build a business, build a referral-based business of clients that want to continue to work with you again and again. And part of doing this is about being honest, right? Sometimes it's easy in the short term to tell a half-truth. And in the long run, that comes back to bite you. Because what happens? When people realize that you're not 100% honest, do they trust you? Of course not. Do they feel confident referring people to you? Of course not. They used to say your reputation's all you have. And these days, when we look around, we see a lot of people operating with lack of integrity, and it's easy to forget that that always comes back to bite us in the long run. That those of us who have the courage to face the consequences of being honest are the ones who succeed in the long run. So what do I mean by that? In the short term, being honest can sometimes cost you, right? Sometimes it'll cost you the deal. And that's why we lie, right? Or don't tell the whole truth, because we don't want to lose the deal. But in the long run, if we tell the truth, sometimes you don't lose the deal and it still goes through anyway. Or sometimes you lose it, but in the long run, that person still wants to work with you. So I'm kind of bundling two things together here. I'm talking about looking out for the person's best interest, but I'm also talking about being ruthlessly honest. And if you put those two together, you have the foundation of an amazing business. So my challenge to you, or my message to you, which you already know, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, I'm just inspiring you to do what you already know. Build a business that's based on honesty, thinking long term. Build a business that's focused on looking out for the client's best interest instead of your own best interest. And if you do that, your business will skyrocket.